Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man.
Rick.
I hate myself.
Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Kyle.
And this is a second look at Second Glance.
Oh, God damn.
The only reason that he agreed to do this movie was for the pun.
I hate religious movies so much.
This was
horrible. This was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I willingly watched Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas.
You willingly watched
I've
this
seen
too.
all the Shrek movies, and this was the worst movie that I've ever seen.
So basically, the plot of the movie is that there's this teenager played by David Pirate Noise White. And he basically, how do I put this? It's a Wonderful Life himself into being an atheist.
There's nothing wrong with being an atheist.
Yes. Basically, he's like, such a bad day. I wish I was never a believer.
I feel like there's less stress in being an atheist than there is being religious. Because you don't have to worry about anything.
Well, unless you live in the Middle East.
Well, yeah, if you live in the Middle East... If you live in the Middle East and you're an atheist, you're gonna get decapitated?
That's better. So yeah, basically, an angel shows up and basically magics him into an alternate reality where he never believed in God. And now this is just my evil atheist mind talking, but I think that reality was an overall net positive.
It honestly was.
He had the girl he wanted, he was popular at school, he had an amazing car, he had a gambling addiction in that life, but now it's because he has a new subconscious, he doesn't have a gambling addiction. His family is separated and his parents are happy now.
Yeah, yeah.
And his annoying sister is dead. The only negatives are his friend is dead and he dresses like a creamsicle.
And like a hippie.
Damn hippies. So, it was... I can at least honestly say that this was very funny to watch.
It was horrible. It hurt.
Well, I'm a masochist, so... I'm a bit of a masochist when it comes to movies, so...
This honestly hurt to watch.
It was one of those good hurts, though.
No, I've had good hurt. This was not good hurt.
This was good hurt.
Setting fire to yourself is good hurt. This was painful.
I'm a bit of a masochist when it comes to movies, and I thought this was just hilarious how bad it was.
What? It was kind of hilarious. It was kind of funny how bad it was, but it was awful.
Yeah, I mean, so this movie is bad. The audio is bad. The acting is bad. The casting is bad.
It's a low-budget religious movie from the 80s. What do you expect?
More preachiness.
It was a little too preachy for my taste. Like I was saying earlier, I don't like people forcing their religion on me.
Yeah. Well, it's only like 50 minutes, okay? So, and it is not as preachy as a lot of other religious movies.
That's true.
Like, God's Not Dead. That movie was just a movie written around a sermon. This sounds like a sermon written into a movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically he wakes up and his room is messy, the first sign of an unbeliever, and I have to admit, the filmmakers are right about that one. I need to clean my room.
So do I.
But that's like the only thing they got right. Yeah. And the evil atheists in this movie are... It amazes me how these guys are such assholes and so popular.
Yeah, like, it's not like that in the real world.
Like, in the real world, or at least in some parts of the real world, in some places it's a lot easier, but in some parts of the real world, atheists do not want to tell anyone they're atheists. These guys are like going around saying, so, hey, Christian, you gonna be busy, or are you going to the next church hayride?
Alright, Team Skull Grunt.
These are like, if this movie was set in 2017, all of their dialogue, if this movie was written in 2017, their dialogue would have just been copy and pasted from troll atheist comments.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
There are two groups of people that I absolutely cannot stand. Religious people and feminists. I'm not saying I'm against equality and stuff, it's just feminism in general. It's a different meaning than what it used to be.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, but they don't.
That's true, I know they don't.
One thing I have to say about modern feminists is I love how petty they are.
I know, I can't stand modern feminists, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
it's a modern feminist.
They are so petty, and it is so hilarious.
I can't say they're annoying and pushy.
Yeah, like, the word history. It's his story. I actually looked at the word origins of the word history. It came from the Greek term historia, which meant learned or wise, which eventually became the Greek histor, which meant to learn or find out, which eventually what became history in Latin, and we get the modern word history from that. And the Greek pronoun that is closest to the word his is completely different than the word his.
Exactly. I don't think they followed.
Anyways. Sorry about that tangent. Anyways, in this movie, basically he stumbles around school the whole day trying to... He basically It's a Wonderful Life himself through the whole movie. And I know a lot of shows and movies and stuff do a It's a Wonderful Life thing, but this has to be the worst I've seen of It's a Wonderful Life ripoffs.
Yeah.
Like, Star Trek The Next Generation did it beautifully.
I honestly don't like It's a Wonderful Life ripoffs. Like, I don't like the stuff where it's like, oh, I wish my life was like this. Because you know how everything's going to play out. You've seen it thousands of times. You know exactly how the whole thing's going to play out. There's no suspense.
Yeah, but like, for example, in Star Trek The Next Generation, Picard wishes he could go back in time to avoid basically his artificial heart is going to break, and at the moment of death, Q, this godlike being, meets with him and says, oh, I'll take you back in time so you can avoid losing your heart. And he does that, however, that affects him, so he never took risks. Instead of being a captain, he finds out that he's just a lowly science officer. And the It's a Wonderful Life portion of it doesn't last too long. It spends most of his time in the past. That's one of the better It's a Wonderful Life ripoffs, in my opinion. But back to the movie. 2 tangents so far.
There's nothing wrong with tangents.
They blew out the runtime by 22 seconds.
The longer the runtime, the more money we get, if we actually got paid for this.
Yeah. But basically, he eventually goes to some party where some crazy bitch is like, oh, I'm pregnant with your kid, even though he's never been with her before. And he's like, no, that... And then, because of that, the girl's boyfriend tries to murder him until he just switches back to reality right before he gets punched. It's not a very good movie.
It's really not. It was poorly directed, poorly executed.
Well, there is one good thing to come out of this.
The shitty meme at the end of the movie.
Hey, Scotty.
Jesus, man.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. So, this movie was bad. I can honestly say I enjoyed how much it offended me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I gotta feed my persecution complex somehow. If you're one of those people who likes... If you're really religious and, like, if you're really religious, you'll love this movie, and if you're one of those people who loves how bad religious movies can get, you will also love this movie.
Okay, if there's really religious people watching this video, they've already clicked the dislike button, written a mean comment, and closed it down. They're not this far into the video.
Yeah. I have to honestly say that I enjoyed it on some level, but not on the level that the filmmakers wanted people to enjoy it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
The movie was horrible. I'd never watch it again. That was a waste of... That was an hour of my life that I will never get back. I don't like the directors, I don't like the actors, I don't like the movie.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of the directors, this movie was written and produced by a man named Rich Cristiano, which is just Rich Christian with an O.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's just... That's, I actually want to look up his net worth to see if he's actually rich. Because that would just be hilarious.
It would, but I hated this movie so much. You need to stop dragging me into religious stuff.
This is the first time I've done this.
And I know you're gonna do it again.
Yeah, probably. You agreed to do it just for the pun.
Please tell me there's not a sequel to this movie?
Oh, no.
Oh good, so no more puns. I don't have to do this anymore.
Part of the job is watching bad movies, Keel.
I have no problem with bad movies. It's the religious movies I have a problem with.
Oh, lots of religious movie reviews get good views.
Click that like button if you don't want to go to hell.
I will see you in the next video, which we are going to record soon, and then release a week after this one. We do a lot of stuff in advance.
We do.
Or at least we plan to.
Bye-bye.
Hey, audience. Movies, man.
Nope, I'm done.
What, was that too bad for you?
Yep.